got to be one of those rare days where I'm looking up and I don't see any active spraying. Could this possibly be? Let me go around here. There's the northern sector. I don't even see a cloudoid. Anyway, I'm Joseph Kleider for AscensionPathway.com on the Evan Fane YouTube channel. A little windy, it's about 11:30. And let me just pan around here. Still no chemtrail activity visible yet for me. Huh. Well, I'm gonna keep my camera with me and we're gonna check it out. The wind just picked up, but I caught this rail hidden right there. Nobody's paying any attention to it. We also got a few rails in the background there. Here's a better look at those hidden rails. They're really not hidden. They're out there just plain to see for everybody to look at. They've got it all nice and railed up really nice. Really, really nice back there. All they're set up for now is some cross-gridding. In a neighboring parking lot, and I caught this guy blowing this rail. You can see that unsymmetrical plumage. See the gap between the two rails? Plumes don't do that. We already know this. They just don't do that, period. Come on. Look at over here. They've already got it railed up. And now they got the cross grid too. Look, I'll back it up a bit. You can see the cross rail. I'm standing in a gas station to protect myself from the wind, but I caught this guy spraying this rail as they continue to build up the grid. Now let me show you how they're building the grid up. Look at over here. You can see the grid work. Look at the lines back there. As it just comes covertly coming this way. Look, that looks like a bass guitar effect right there. You got 4 strings. And look, we got the cross grid coming this way. Now where's that cross grid? There it is, hidden between the trees. See the cross grid? Yeah, they're gridding it up. We got another one of those guys blowing up a little bit of a rail here. There he is right there. Look at back over here, you got cloudoids heading over by the mountain range. And then where that cross grid was over here, we now have more rails back over here that have been sighted. Just about any time you look up in the sky now, you should be able to see somebody up here spraying. This guy's wrecking our clear sky day by just adding more pollution into the sky. Into our atmosphere, mixing it up as we breathe it in. Well, it's time for a blue-bottom silver bullet to make his path be known as he heads from our western sector into that eastern sky. Look at the blue bottom on him. Plumes look fairly symmetrical. They don't have that tooth root effect, I like to call it. But the skies are still somewhat clear despite the pluming. If you look really hard in that horizon there, you can see the X marks the spot. And a couple of puffs still lingering. Well, we got another one heading into that western sector. It's got to be getting, I'd say about 1:45 or so in the afternoon. My guess he's a silver bullet, judging by the plume. That's getting closer to 2 o'clock. We got a guy coming out of the west heading east. And he looks like another silver bullet. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Nice rail, nice intermediate rail. Yeah, we're shooting the sun. I'm on my way to get my workout in. I'm on my bicycle. Don't worry, I got a respirator on. And so my voice may be muffled, but I couldn't resist picking this guy up as he heads into that western sector. Let me show you what's going on here. Alright, let me back it up. When I get to the wreck zone, I'll show you they got a mini Medusa. Kind of blasting the sun. Now I'm going to put my sunglasses over top of my lens. It's not working. Okay, I'm looking at that western sector. Look at the bomb this guy left right over here.
I mean, doesn't that look ridiculous? What do you call that? A mushroom or something? I don't know. It almost looks like one of those things in the old-fashioned comic books out of the 60s and 70s, where if somebody was thinking, they'd have that little bubble above their head. But anyway, what I want to show you here is the making of that Medusa. Look at those rails. Look how they built that up. They're hiding something behind that sun, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. Just think big, people. That's all I can tell you. Think big. Get a welder's shield and look up at the sun. First thing in the morning, mid-afternoon, any chance you get, you can see those other planets. It's not a sham. The more evidence I see, and I'm going to be bringing it to the forefront, I'm going to dig out the information on the shield. NASA finally come up and admitted, well, we got a shield blocking the sun. So it's all going to be exposed real soon. Just finished my workout at 6 o'clock, and look at the major rails that they just blew in here. Here's a double railer here. You might think it's a single plume with the double rails. No, that's two separate jets with two separate rails. Freaking nasty, isn't it? I'm going to point it up to the sun right now, because we think they're hiding something behind the sun, like I said before. We're going to try to filterize this and see exactly what's going on. Don't worry about that little green thing there. That's just a reflection off my camera. But I want to show you the rest here. Here's another view of the Medusa that they got built up. They always do this every day. Look at the rails there. Look how that's all going to blanket that sun. So my guess is, I tell you people, here's what you do. Get yourself a welder's mask. Look up at the sun, and you should be able to see what they've been hiding. Check it out usually about this time, and then usually first thing in the morning. But that ring around that you see, the sun dog or moon dog, whatever you want to call that, is nothing more than NASA's sun blocker. And I'll have the documentation on that real soon here for you. Despite the Medusa, we still got a silver bullet up there blowing plume. And you know exactly where he's headed. He's headed for the Medusa. And I'll just outline his pathway so you can see straight down into the sun. Well, 6:30, just got home from working out, caught this railer right above my head. And look at the nastiness of his rail. Looks like a blue bottom silver bullet or a blue tail. This is when they come out, those blue tails. Look at the unsymmetrical plume. Right side comes out before the left side. Again, evidence of possible two different mixes or nozzle disc configuration. And he's heading into that western sector. Imagine that. It's getting more and more evident what they do toward the evening. First of all, X marks the spot. Got this guy railing it up, right in that western sector, covering up the sun. Well, people, oh, just keep looking up. The reason we're looking at the sun, if you look real close, I don't want to wreck it for you yet, but pretty soon we're going to all need to know this. You can see the gigantic space body behind that sun. Can you see the ring around it? Like I said, get yourself a welder's helmet and look. I've looked at some of my old footage and I've got that second sun, I've got extra planets, which I'm going to have to decipher and bring to you people so you can see it for yourself. Here's where that X marks the spot, but look what this guy did. He turned his rail. Let me see if I can move over some more so you can see it. He basically turned his rail. Look at it, almost like a U-did, almost a U-turn. Imagine that, around that outer edge where it shows the big humongous ring. Let's back that off again and look at it again. Look real close. Oh boy. Got the sun blocked by this building, but I want to show you some finned work. Look how they finned it. They finned it. Here's what I'm talking about. I've got the sun underneath this building, and you can almost see the roundness of the planet behind the sun. See it up there? And then the shield itself down there, and then the planet behind it. It's happening, people. Just look for yourself. Prove me wrong if you can. You can see why they're railing it up. Let me show you real quick here. Another guy's rail back in there, but you can see the size of Hercobus. If it's not Hercobus, it's some other planet. Just check this out. Just look. You can see the guys railing it up back there to keep that planet covered up. We got another railer up there. It's a little after 7 o'clock. Look, he's got the chain link. He's got the tanker plume. Two different kinds of plumes. There's the chain link, and then there's your fast dissipating on the side. Isn't that interesting, huh? Look over here in that sector now. You're starting to see the outlines of the planet. They're trying their damnedest to cover it up with the plume. You can almost see the outline. See how they're chemtrailing it? To block that out of your way so you can't see those existing planets. How much longer do we really have? We're finally piecing all the pieces together of this puzzle. We got another railer back in there heading in that western sector. Look at that rail above me over here. And then look at the multiple rails there. Look at that. Wait till I move into more open space. The eastern sector, we got another guy. He's picking up the rear there to spray more plume into that western sector. And look at the configuration of him. Look at the unsymmetrical plumage. Look at the two different plumes. If people can't see that, what's wrong with them? We'll get him on the return here. More prime example of what's going on. Look at, there's that other railer. Looks like he's almost going to turn as he heads for that existing rail that's already dispersing. You can see how nasty they got as they try to cover up that planet. Look at this. Oh my gosh, look at that. What kind of pollution's in that thing? You can almost see the Hercobus. Look how nice and round that is. That's not a sun, dog. That's people need to start waking up. We're gathering the evidence. And here's this guy up here blowing some plume. Look at this rail. Let's get a better look at this guy. Look at the two different kinds of plume coming out of there. Look at the two different kinds of plumes. And he's got a nice lengthy rail. This guy's only built for one thing, spraying plume. Nobody on there. There is just the guys working the controls. You people, have a good night. Wear your respirators and look up.